There's nothing in the bill that the House passed yesterday, not a single thing that the Democrats oppose. That's what's so ironic about all of this. So this is nothing more than legislative hostage-taking.
Hopefully, Mr. Schumer will find out what the president will sign.
This vote should be a no-brainer. And it would be, except the Democratic leader has convinced his members to filibuster any funding bill that doesn't include legislation they are demanding for people who came into the United States illegally.
We had a long and detailed meeting. We discussed all of the major outstanding issues. We made some progress, but we still have a good number of disagreements. The discussions will continue.
Well, the progress is not complete because there's no deal yet. Less than 5.5 hours from a partial government shutdown. They are still negotiating. The other side of that negotiation, the president tweeting out this afternoon, excellent preliminary meeting in Oval with Senator Schumer, working on solutions for security and our great military together with Senate Majority Leader McConnell and Speaker Ryan, making progress. 4-week extension would be best. We're hearing that they're talking even few-day extension. We don't know. A lot of polls out there. Who to blame? Washington Post had one. ABC had one. The most recent was CNN. And this is what they put out. Who is to blame if the government shuts down? Democrats, 31%. Republicans, 26%. Trump, 21%. All of them, 10%. There's frustration all around. Let's bring in our panel. Byron York, chief political correspondent of the Washington Examiner. Susan Page, Washington bureau chief at USA Today. And we welcome Mike Allen, co-founder of Axios. Mike, let's start with you. Your thoughts on these negotiations.
Yeah, so right over your shoulder, we're hearing there's a real mood swing that just a couple hours, I think everybody thought that shutdown was virtually assured. Now, lots of hope. And at the very top, you talked about buying time, which is what I think they'll do. And there's a clear reason for that. And that is whatever the polls show about Republicans, Democrats, there's one person, one group that a shutdown is terrible for, incumbents. And guess who's going to have to vote? Republican or Democrat, they're all incumbents. They're people in charge. Voters don't like it. It's such a visible sign of the government breaking down.
Susan, just in the past few minutes, we had some Democrats up for re-election in red states say they are voting yes for a continuing resolution. The one that's on the table now, Heidi Heitkamp, Joe Donnelly from Indiana, and Joe Manchin already. Some others may join, but you have Republicans who are opposed, Lindsey Graham, Jeff Flake, and others.
Yeah, at the moment the votes aren't there, and I think it would be like pulling a rabbit out of a hat to get a deal now, even if it was a very short-term extension that just got you into next week. But it's interesting that they're having those discussions. I agree. The shutdown is bad for politicians of all sorts. For Democrats, I think it's worse for Republicans. I think it's worst of all for President Trump, who was elected as a deal maker who was going to drain the swamp. Here we're standing in the swamp, not drained, deal not made.
And who's been super involved, keeps calling these audibles. And so Republicans fear that it'd be even worse for them because of that.
Yeah. You know, Republicans spent the day pretty much on message, Byron, saying that they have passed something that Democrats like, that there's nothing in what they passed that Democrats should oppose.
That was the point Mick Mulvaney kept trying to make over and over at the White House today, which is actually true. I think the reason you're seeing all of this brinksmanship is that they're kind of playing the other guy's role from 2013. And in 2013, you had the Republicans, the minority, insisting that a policy demand of theirs, in that case defunding Obamacare, be attached to a must-pass government spending bill. And they knew that Democrats opposed it unanimously, including the Democratic president. So now you have Democrats attaching an unrelated policy demand, the DACA provision, to a must-pass spending bill. And I think the reason you're seeing this is kind of the dirty little lesson of 2013 is, remember, there was all this talk about how Republicans would just die. This would be fatal for Republicans. Well, they won the Senate in 2014. They kept the House, and then they won everything in 2016. I think there's some of this brinksmanship because people have decided it's not that dangerous.
Well, just in my ear just moments ago, getting word that there is a proposal for a procedural vote to move on the House continuing resolution for 10 p.m. in the Senate. That would close off debate, and they would be moving towards a vote on the House continuing resolution. So that would mean that, one, they're just going to roll the dice and see who votes where, or two, they're starting to see some votes move.
So this is why Americans have so much respect for Washington, right? At 10 o'clock, they're going to have a vote with a bunch of gobbledygook that no one understands, and either the government will shut down or it won't, on issues on which there is, in fact, agreement. And one way this is different from 2013 is there is actually some bipartisan agreement on doing something for the Dreamers on the DACA thing. It's really, in that way, not analogous to the shutdown.
But it is, you have to concede that it's not a budget item.
Well, that's true, and it is it's hypocrisy in politics on everyone's
Both
part.
sides.
No questions about that. Yeah.
I mean, to your point, we happen to have Senator Schumer from 2013.
Comes in and he says basically it's sort of like this. Someone goes into your house, takes your wife and children hostage, and then says, let's negotiate over the price of your house. You know, we could do the same thing on immigration. We believe strongly in immigration reform. We could say we're shutting down the government. We're not going to raise the debt ceiling until you pass immigration reform. It would be governmental chaos.
Governmental chaos. You know, it's funny, Mark Short used the exact same analogy today at the White House about the hostage situation.
Well, and we had the president's tweets from a couple years ago being pulled back, talking about the importance of the president as deal maker.
As unifying, yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about the rabbit out of the hat. If this brinksmanship pays off, if something happens in the next couple hours, you're going to have to give credit to President Trump as the deal maker, because he took the risk earlier today of really upsetting Republican leaders by bringing Senator Schumer down there, two New Yorkers, hashing this out, leaving out the Speaker and the Senate Republican leader, and it looks like there's movement. And we just saw Mick Mulvaney at the White House saying it looks like there's a deal to be had.
Yeah. Now, if they go, you know, they want 4 weeks, but it doesn't sound like the Democrats are going to give them 4 weeks. They want to have a little bit shorter time to get their back up against the wall on DACA. March 5th is the deadline for the DACA situation. So does 5 days work? Does 10 days work?
I think they want more than 5 days and less than 4 weeks. And also, you have to think, is a deadline really a deadline? Because Mick Mulvaney, again, was talking about, well, the next federal payday is next Friday. And then, of course, if you can do something this weekend and get it cleared up before Monday, then people can come back to work. We've all been thinking Friday midnight, but they've got Saturday and Sunday to work on this, too.